Hello, so today I'm making a video, and I haven't done a video in a long time, but I wanted to make a video about the show Succession, which I watched a few weeks ago, and I was like, see, this is why I never watch the popular shows, because the thing is, a lot of times I'm often disappointed because I find that the show's not really good. It's just a lot of people are talking about it and a lot of people like it. And obviously I'm going to get into that in a second because there are elements of Succession that I do like, and there's parts of it that I thought could have been good, but it just falls flat in a lot of areas and there's a lot of improvement to be done. So maybe in their next season they'll fix it, but so far I'm just like, you know? But yeah, so let's get right into it. Firstly, if you haven't seen it, Succession is about a show basically, and there's this rich old man and he's leaving all of his, well, not leaving, but trying to find a successor to his company. It's the classic American family power struggle, blah, 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 blah. So I don't know why at this part I said American family power struggles, because this is just a human thing. There's been power struggles in families all throughout history and time, like in the Borgias, the Medicis, even like I said, the show Empire. They have the Black Mafia family, all this type of stuff, the Godfather. So no, it's not just America, but my point was that it's a typical common family power struggle, but I think you get the point. So yeah, we have the patriarch of the family, and we have his next of kin, who he's gonna give his company to, blah, 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 blah. And so within this, we have the Roy family, who are Shiv, Roman, Logan, Connor, and Kendall, I believe. And then there's like their stepmom and their mom, but they're not really important, so it doesn't matter, and we won't get too much into them. And also there's Greg, but I kind of forgot about him, and I kind of forgot about Connor, but I made a point to remember him because I wanted to make a joke later in the video.
I am not a moron, Dad.
How much is a gallon of milk?
What?
How much is a gallon of milk?
I don't know. I mean, who the fuck knows, Dad? Literally, no one knows. Who gives a shit?
Ray!
Yeah.
How much is a gallon of milk?
Well, I mean, like a regular milk or...
Anyways, so we have the Roy family, and firstly what I want to say is, obviously, Succession, it could have been a good show. There was potential, you know, to show the grimy side of America, and it does good at being very grimy. It does, because after watching the show, I wanted to take 87 showers just because of how dirty it feels to watch this show. Like, I have never felt more scum of the earthy after watching this. It's just like, ew, like, why would you want to be a part of that corporate entity, a part of that world? Like, this was the thing that was kind of the problem for me with Mr. Robot, is the griminess of it all. Like, I understand, like, you want to show this and that, but it also says comedy drama. Like, where was the comedy? Like, it was not funny at all. None of it makes you want to say, hey, let me keep watching this. You know what I mean? There's a lot of it that I skipped over because I was like, you know what? I don't want to hear that. Like, you. Anyways, the first reason I even started watching Succession, I think I heard of it a while back, but there's a few good actors in it. You know what I mean? It's a show with a lot of good actors. The writing is just kind of at times for me, because they take too much time to fill in otherwise okay-ish dialogue with curse words and just really nasty jokes like that are unnecessary and kind of stupid. Like, you can't keep telling the same joke 67 times. Like, we get it. Without, all through season 3, I think I counted like 4 reused taglines and jokes, and it's like, but why? Like, there was so much potential in this show, but it's just not there. This show really hits on a lot of issues, which is my problem with a lot of adult shows, which is that they just use cursing and X-rated content as a filler for actual plot, and to me that's an insult to everyone's intelligence and time, because you can write something so much better. Because there's tons of adult shows that aren't for kids, that aren't just filled with the person saying the F word every 2 seconds or telling a nasty joke every 3 seconds because they think it's funny. Like, literally, if you think about it, that is immature high school humor, and it fits in some places, but really if you use it every 3 seconds, it's just like, why am I even still here? Like, I wanted something better, and I know everybody in this show is a good actor, and there is potential there. They can give killer performances, and I'm just so saddened that they have stifled their abilities with this. It's just, it could have been so much better, and it's depressing. So anyways, Firstly, obviously, firstly, I was mainly watching it for Kieran Culkin because I wanted to see something that he was in, because I had seen most of the stuff that Rory Culkin was in and that Macaulay Culkin was in. So I was like, let me watch Succession, blah, 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 blah. Never got into it. I watched the trailer for it, and I already did not want to watch it because there was just so much cursing in the trailer, and that's just so cringy. It's like, please come up with something else, because so many shows nowadays, like even American Horror Story, even though I think the last season was pretty good, American Horror Story Red Tide, I thought that was pretty good, but it was still bogged down with a lot of unnecessary parts in there, but whatever. It's one of the reasons why I didn't really like the house party movies. I like them, but there's a lot that could be fixed because they overuse. People lean on the F word way too much. It's not that exciting of a word, and once you keep saying it over and over and over again, it becomes boring. Anywho, Succession, like I said, is about Logan Roy leaving his company, his corporate conglomerate, to his kids. And basically, I was stupid because it took me until I think season 2 to realize that ATN is supposed to be CNN, which is like their little company that they own, but since I have no brain cells, I didn't notice that up until like season 2, and I was like, oh, it's supposed to be CNN. Like, who would have thought? But anyways, firstly, I want to say that, first of all, Logan Roy is annoying. I did not care for his character at all. Like, honestly, call me wrong, but the whole time I was like, so is their dad gonna like cease to exist? Or because it's so annoying, they keep going like, oh my gosh, this is wrong with him, this is blah blah blah. Like, just hurry up and kill their dad off so that they can get on with the show. Secondly, the whole entire family is trash. Like, there's not one single redeeming character. Like, they try to make Shiv kind of the, oh, I'm not that bad, blah 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 blah, but she still goes back and does the grimy things that her family does, so she is just as bad as them, you know. It's not, well, I mean, it is obvious, it's supposed to be obvious that they're the whole typical, you know, racist corporate American conglomerate family, blah 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 blah, and they're like, oh, see, our company, we're not whatever, but obviously behind closed doors they're raggedy and they treat people like garbage fires, because they played this stupid game in one of the seasons called Forr on the Floor, which is basically one of the reasons those type of rich people in society are so grimy, because they're like, what are you willing to do to be one of us, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, that's why I could never do that, because I'm not gonna embarrass myself or, you know, do something cringy to other people, or you know, go out of my way to make other people care about me. Like Greg, that's what annoys me about his character. He goes out of his way to get them to care about him, but they're so rude and they're so raggedy. And even, I forgot about Tom, but Tom, Shiv's husband, is raggedy too, because he treats Greg like a garbage fire, and it's like, Greg, you had potential. And like Greg's dad or grandpa, I think it's his dad because he's their cousin, so Logan's brother is Greg's dad, and he's the only one in the family that kind of has, we see he's the only one that's not really on board with their stupidity train, and he's like, I don't want to be a part of this, you guys are cringe, you can keep that. And basically, as we go along in the seasons, we see that the show, their whole corporate show, starts to fall apart, and Logan has to pick a successor, being one of his kids, whether it be Connor, whether it be Roman, whether it be Shiv, whether it be Kendall, but he's just kind of leading them all along and is not really going to pick any of them, because he really actually doesn't care about any of his kids, from what it seems like. He kind of hates his kids, especially like Roman. He likes Shiv a little bit, but he really just can't stand his kids. And I'm like, are they just like, I don't know if this is intentional, but I feel like Roman might be like kind of slow. I don't know. Like, he obviously has potential to do stuff, but did they ever, like, I'm gonna need them to make a season where they treat him for like, I don't know, adult ADHD or adult autism or something, because like, I'm like, I see the signs, because like, I can see it in myself and I can see it in the character of Roman, and I'm like, it's me, but I'm not that much of a garbage fire, like, you know what I mean? And there's just so much potential that he has, but his brain is just not, you know, connecting the pieces. So if they took him to therapy or something, then he could probably get on the right road to not being a garbage fire human being. But that's not the point. I'll say this because he's always telling jokes at the most inopportune time, and everybody wants to punch him in the face, and I can literally relate, because that's literally me. But also because his elder siblings are so overprotective, and they just jump at any chance to like shield him from the horrors of the universe, because they're like, no, leave him alone, he's a precious little whatever baby that needs to be protected from the horrors of the universe. But also, because if he really got help in focusing, he could do good in the company, because his problem is procrastination and having too many ideas at once, which is something I struggle with because I have multiple ideas, and rather than work on one, I would rather start multiple projects and just never finish them. So I need help with that, and he needs help with that, and he'll be good at running the company. The whole entire family is trash, but like I said, it's filled with good actors. Like, everybody in this has been in something else that was really good. This show is just not it for me, you know what I mean? But it's just because I don't really like that type of grimy stuff of being mean to people for no reason and just making up reasons to justify buffoonery, really, because being rich is not that amazing. And like, I just don't see the allure of being a billionaire and being a millionaire. Like, obviously it would be nice to have that much money, obviously it would be nice to be able to go on trips every other day, but if you could do all that without being stomping on other people and being raggedy to people and playing up the race wars and the culture wars and the oil wars and all the wars that you could possibly drag into it, then that would be, you know, a better thing to do, because all of it's so grimy. But I know that's the point they're making fun of, like Fox News and CNN and the whole Democrat versus Republican blah 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 thing. And that was actually the one thing that was kind of funny to me about Succession. I was like, I feel like Connor would have definitely been at the Capitol riots. Like, is it just me? But this man was definitely one of the people who stormed the Capitol. Like, I can't. And I feel like that's kind of annoyed me, because I feel like I wanted them to mention that in like season 3 of Succession, but maybe they'll mention it in season 4 and Connor will like go to jail for being one of those people, because I feel like he definitely would have been there.
Later.
Look, Dad, I hear that things are shaky at the White House, but he'll win again.
But whatever. Anyways, my point is that it's just a no from me. Like, there's potential. Like, for Roman, there was potential, but they just made his character like really grimy, really nasty. The whole thing with him and what's her name? Him and Jerry, that's like really nasty. Like, nobody needed to see that. Nobody wanted to witness that. There's so many different directions they could have gone in with that, but just ugh. Anywho's, like I said, the show's kind of grimy cringe, but there's potential, so hopefully maybe they'll fix it. I want to see a little bit more. I don't know if they're done with Alexander Skarsgård's character, but I want to see more of him, obviously. But yeah, other than that, there's not really any characters to root for, because like I said, every single person in the show is trash. But not the people in the show, not the actors, but the characters are all trash. The whole family is trash. There's nobody to, you know what I mean? Like, just get rid of everybody. Just throw it all away. Like, there's not one redeeming quality that any of them have. Maybe there's hope for like Kendall's kids, but other than that, just ugh. I really towards the end only kept watching the show for Shiv's outfits. So because Sarah Snook, I was just watching it for her pretty much. At the end I was just like, okay, let's watch for Shiv. And by let's watch for Shiv, I mean let's watch for Sarah Snook and the outfits they put her in and her shape, because she is literally shaped so cute. And I literally fell off my chair towards the end of the season, because I mean, yeah, so that's why I was watching this towards the end. And also, if I ever go on a fancy vacation, I'm definitely going to steal some outfit inspiration from this show. So yeah, that's pretty much why I stayed towards the end. And I'm not even mad about it. Let's watch for a little bit of Roman characters. So I just skipped both of their parts towards the end because I just couldn't be bothered to witness the rest of the cringe that was the show. Obviously, I watched a little bit here and there, but there was just not, I'm not seeing what all the hype is there for, because it was just a hard pass for me. But yeah, so besides that, I'm leaving it open to interpretation, you know what I mean? Think what you want to think, and yeah. But other than that, that is my review. So I thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.